everything you need to know about Google's most powerful AI. You're wasting hours because you don't know about Gemini. You're using the wrong AI tools while Google just dropped something that changes everything. You're missing features that could save you time every single day. Most people have no idea this even exists. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to use Gemini to work smarter, faster, and better. Hey, I'm Ava. I help people learn and implement AI tools that actually work. And today we're doing a complete breakdown of Google Gemini. This is the full course. Everything you need to know about what Gemini is, how it works, and most importantly, how to actually use it in your day-to-day work. Let me start with what Gemini actually is. Gemini is Google's AI assistant. It's built by Google DeepMind, and it's available right now for free. You can use it on the web at gemini.google.com. You can use it on your phone with the Gemini app. You can use it in Google Search with AI mode, and it's integrated into other Google products you already use. You're probably wasting hours every single day re-explaining the same things to AI, uploading the same files over and over, copy-pasting context like it's your full-time job. Google just fixed this problem. And most people have no idea this even exists yet. Hey, I'm Ava. I help people learn and implement AI tools that actually work. And today I'm showing you something that's going to change how you use AI forever. This is about making your AI remember everything, your research, your notes, your entire knowledge base, without you having to repeat yourself ever again. But now, Google changed the game. They built a bridge between Notebook LM and Gemini, so you can store all your research, all your documents, all your knowledge inside Notebook LM, then attach that entire notebook to any Gemini chat. And Gemini instantly knows everything that's in there. Think about what this means. You research once, you organize once, then you use that knowledge forever. No repeating yourself, no re-explaining context. The AI just gets it. Hey, if we haven't met already, I'm Ava. I'm here to help you get the latest AI updates. I read every comment, so make sure you comment below. So let me show you how this actually works. First, you go into Notebook LM. You create a new notebook. Let's say you're building a fitness coaching business. You'd create something called Fitness Master Notebook. Now here's the cool part. You don't even need to upload anything yet. You're going to use deep research to build everything from scratch. Here's the first prompt you run. Build a trusted fitness research notebook covering strength training, cardio, nutrition, recovery, and beginner safety. Use high-quality sources only. For each topic, extract key facts, numbers, and short summaries. Create a quick facts section. You run that prompt and Notebook LM goes to work. It searches the web. It finds high-quality sources. It extracts the key information. It organizes everything into a clean, structured notebook. You didn't upload a single file. It did all the research for you. And the best part? It's pulling from real sources. Medical journals, fitness research, expert articles, everything is fact-checked and organized. You're getting hours of research done in minutes. Now you run the second prompt. Using the notebook sources, write a simple beginner-friendly summary explaining why fitness matters, how to start safely, and common mistakes to avoid. This is where it gets really good. Notebook LM takes all that research it just gathered and turns it into a simple summary. Something anyone can read and understand. No confusing terms, no overwhelming details, just a clear explanation that makes sense. And it's all based on the sources it found. This summary becomes your foundation. Your starting point. The thing you can share with beginners who need to understand the basics without getting lost in complicated science. It takes complex research and makes it easy. And if you want to learn how to scale your entire business with AI tools like Gemini and Notebook LM, you need to check out the AI Profit Boardroom. This is where you'll discover how to automate workflows, save hundreds of hours, and get more customers using AI. You'll see exactly how to use these tools to grow faster and work smarter. Link is in the description. So back to the prompts, then you run the third prompt. From the notebook sources, create a beginner 3-day per week fitness plan with exercises, sets, reps, and basic recovery tips. This is the final piece. Now, Notebook LM creates an actual workout program. 3 days per week, specific exercises, how many sets, how many reps, recovery tips, everything a beginner needs. And it's all pulled from the research it just did. You've got a complete evidence-based fitness notebook without uploading a single thing. This isn't some random workout plan. It's based on real research, real science, real data. You could sell this, you could give it to clients, you could use it yourself. It's that good. So now you have this organized, fact-checked, evidence-based fitness notebook. Everything is in one place. All your research, all your knowledge, all ready to use. Now here's the magic. You open Gemini. You click the Notebook LM icon in the message box. You attach your fitness master notebook. And boom! Gemini now understands everything inside that notebook. You don't have to re-upload anything. You don't have to explain context. You don't have to copy-paste. It just knows. And now you can ask it anything. Here's the first Gemini prompt you can use. Using the attached fitness notebook, write a punchy 60-second video script explaining beginner fitness with 3 evidence-based tips. You run that and watch what happens. Gemini creates a complete video script in seconds, 60 seconds long, 3 clear tips, all backed by the research in your notebook. No generic advice, no made-up facts, just solid, evidence-based content ready to record. You could film this right now, post it on YouTube, post it on Instagram, post it anywhere, and people will trust it because it's not just your opinion. It's backed by real research, real data. That's the difference between content that performs and content that flops. Then here's the second Gemini prompt. Act as a fitness coach using only the attached notebook. Answer beginner fitness questions clearly and safely. This one is really powerful. Now Gemini becomes your personal fitness coach. Someone asks a question about working out. Gemini answers using only your notebook. Someone asks about nutrition. Gemini pulls from your research. Every answer is grounded in real information. Every response is safe and accurate because it's all coming from your knowledge vault. You could use this to answer customer questions, build an FAQ page, create email responses, handle social media comments, all without spending hours researching every single question. Gemini already knows everything because you built that knowledge base once. Here's what's really smart about this. Notebook LM becomes your memory. It stores everything. It organizes everything. It's your knowledge vault. Then Gemini becomes your thinking engine. It takes that knowledge and turns it into actions, scripts, plans, answers, content, whatever you need. Now let me give you some tips. First, the rollout is gradual. Not every account has this feature yet. If you don't see the Notebook LM icon in Gemini, you might need to wait a bit. Google is rolling it out slowly. Second, some features are enterprise only. If you're using a personal account, you might not get every feature right away, but the core functionality works for everyone once it's rolled out. Third, always check your sources. Just because Gemini is pulling from your notebook doesn't mean you should skip fact-checking. Make sure the sources you upload to Notebook LM are high quality, because garbage in equals garbage out. Fourth, organize your notebooks well. Don't just throw everything into one notebook. Create specific notebooks for specific topics. One for fitness, one for business, one for content creation. Whatever makes sense for you, the more organized your notebooks are, the more useful they'll be. Fifth, use clear prompts. When you're working with Gemini and an attached notebook, be specific about what you want. Tell it to use only the notebook sources. Tell it the format you want. Tell it the length you want. The clearer you are, the better the output. So here's what you should do right now. First, go into Notebook LM. Create a notebook for your main topic, whether that's your business, your niche, your studies, whatever matters to you. Upload your best sources, your PDFs, your articles, your notes, everything you have. Then run a few prompts to organize that information. Tell Notebook LM to extract key facts, create summaries, build frameworks, whatever makes sense for your topic. Get that notebook organized and useful. Then open Gemini, attach that notebook, and start creating. Write scripts, create plans, draft content, answer questions. Do whatever you need, but do it with your knowledge backing you up. And if you want to learn how to scale your entire business with AI tools like Gemini and Notebook LM, you need to check out the AI Profit Boardroom. This is where you'll discover how to automate workflows, save hundreds of hours, and get more customers using AI. You'll see exactly how to use these tools to grow faster and work smarter. Link is in the description. And if you want the full process, SOPs, and 100+ AI use cases like this one, join the AI Success Lab. Links in the comments and description. You'll get all the video notes from there, plus access to our community of 38,000 members who are crushing it with AI. That's it for today. Hit the like and subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. You're wasting hours doing things Google just made instant. while you're still switching between 10 browser tabs. And typing the same questions into ChatGPT over and over, Google just dropped updates that make all of that look ancient. This isn't small stuff. Hey, I'm Ava. I help people actually use AI tools without the hype or BS. And today I'm breaking down the Google Gemini updates that just dropped. These are real features you can use right now. No wait list for most of them, no crazy prices, just tools that actually change how you work. Let me start with the one that blew my mind. Google just made your headphones into live translators, not the robotic garbage we've had for years. Real translation that sounds like a human. You can now have full conversations in 70 different languages. Just put in any headphones you already own, open Google Translate, tap Live Translate, and suddenly the world around you gets translated in real time straight into your ears. Here's what makes this different. Old translation tools just swapped words, so everything sounded stiff and weird. This uses Gemini's native audio model. It understands context. It picks up on tone. It knows when someone's joking versus when they're serious. The translation keeps the speaker's natural rhythm and emphasis. So you're not just hearing words, you're hearing what they actually mean. And it works both ways. If you're trying to talk to someone who speaks a different language, your phone broadcasts the translation while you hear theirs through your headphones. No more awkward phone passing. No more broken conversations through a speaker. Just natural back and forth, like you're both speaking the same language. But that's just one update. Let me tell you about the other stuff that just dropped. Google released something called Disco. It's an experimental browser that takes all your messy tabs and turns them into actual working apps. This thing is wild. It's called GenTabs. And it uses Gemini 3 to look at what you're researching across multiple tabs and builds you a custom tool to finish whatever you're trying to do. Say you're planning a trip. You've got tabs open for flights, hotels, things to do, weather. Instead of bouncing between all of them, GenTabs creates a trip planner app right there in your browser. It pulls in maps, calendars, budget trackers, everything organized in one place, with links back to the original sources so you can dig deeper if you want. Or maybe you're researching a topic for work. 10 tabs of articles and data. GenTabs builds you a research dashboard that organizes it all. Comparison tables, summary cards, interactive elements, all from the tabs you already had open. You don't write any code. You just describe what you need in plain language. The AI builds it. You can ask it to change the layout, add features, reorganize things. It adapts in real time. Now here's the catch. Disco is experimental. It's only available through a wait list on macOS right now. But Google says successful features from Disco might make their way into Chrome later. So this could be how browsers work in the future. Your tabs becoming instant apps instead of just static pages. When I first started using these kinds of AI tools, I was completely overwhelmed. That's when I found this community called AI Profit Boardroom. 1,800 members all focused on learning AI together and sharing what actually works. It taught me which workflows save time versus which ones waste it. The community shares real use cases and practical implementations. If you're serious about using AI to improve your work and skills, check it out. Link in description. Let me talk about the third big update. It's called Deep Research, and this one is a game changer for anyone who does any kind of research. Deep Research is like having a personal research assistant that never gets tired. You give it a topic, it creates a research plan, you approve it or tweak it, then it goes off and analyzes dozens or even hundreds of websites. It takes about 5 to 15 minutes depending on the topic. When it's done, you get a full multi-page report, properly structured, with citations, links to all the sources, everything organized and ready to use. Google also just released Gemini 3 Flash. This is their newest model. It's fast, it's smart, And it's free for everyone. You can access it right now in the Gemini app and in Google Search. It brings the power of their most advanced AI at speeds that feel instant. Better reasoning, better at handling complex questions, better at understanding what you actually want. They also released something called temporary chat. It's exactly what it sounds like. A mode where your conversation with Gemini doesn't get saved. Nothing goes into your history. Nothing trains their AI models. Perfect for when you're exploring sensitive topics or just want a clean slate. And there's updates to Gemini Live. That's the conversational mode where you can talk to Gemini like you're on a phone call. It's getting better at natural conversations, better at following context, better at helping you think through problems out loud. Now let me hit you with why this matters more than you think. Google is in an all-out war with OpenAI right now. OpenAI just launched updates to compete with Google's Gemini 3. Both companies are pushing each other, and that means we get better tools faster, more features, more stuff for free. Competition is making AI better for everyone who actually uses it. So what should you actually do with all this? Start with translation if it applies to you. If you travel, if you work with people in other countries, if you're learning a language, test this out. See how much better it is than the old tools. Download Google Translate. Connect your headphones, try a conversation, or watch something in another language. You'll immediately see the difference. If you're a power user, get on the wait list for Disco. See if Gen Tabs actually saves you time when you're juggling research across multiple tabs. My bet is it will, especially if you're doing comparative research or planning anything complex. If you do any kind of deep research for work, try deep research in Gemini Advanced. Even if you just try the free trial, run a test on something you'd normally spend hours researching. See if it delivers. See if the time savings are real. I think you'll be surprised. The key is don't just watch videos about tools, actually use them. That's where the real learning happens. That's how you figure out what genuinely helps your work. If you're looking to dive deeper into AI tools and actually implement them in your work, I recommend AI Profit Boardroom. Over 1,800 people learning how to use AI effectively. Everyone shares real experiences. What's working, what's not. Which tools are worth your time. Which ones to skip. No hype. Just solid information and practical guidance from people doing the work. It's helped me stay on top of updates and figure out how to actually apply them. Link in description if you want to check it out. If you want the full process, SOPs, and 100 plus AI use cases like this one, join the AI Success Lab. Links in the comments and description. You'll get all the video notes from there, plus access to our community of 38,000 members who are crushing it with AI. We're moving from AI that just answers questions to AI that actually helps you complete tasks. These aren't flashy demos. These are real tools you can use today. Most of them are free. The ones that aren't have free trials. There's no reason not to test them and see what actually helps your work or life. So here's my challenge. Pick one thing from this video, just one. Try it this week. See if it actually saves you time. See if it makes something easier. Then come back and let me know in the comments what you tried and how it went. I read everything. The people winning with AI right now aren't the ones with the most expensive tools. They're the ones actually using what's available and figuring out what works. That can be you. It just takes trying stuff instead of just watching videos about it. That's it for today. If this was helpful, hit the like button so more people see it. Subscribe if you want more breakdowns like this without the hype. And I'll see you in the next one. While you were sleeping, Google just ate the entire AI industry for breakfast. I'm not exaggerating. They didn't launch one tool. They weaponized your entire workflow. Your inbox now has a brain. Your browser builds apps. Your phone just became a research lab. And somehow, nobody noticed. Let me break down what they shipped because this is crazy. First up, Doppel. Google just made AI understand fashion. Like, actually understand your style. This isn't just another shopping tool. Doppel creates a personalized fashion discovery feed based on your vibe. Not your size, your vibe. You open it up and it shows you outfits that match your taste. It learns what you like. And here's the wild part. Built-in shopping links. You see something you love, you buy it right there. Plus, you can save looks into collections. It's like Pinterest meets TikTok Shop meets an AI stylist that actually gets you. This is AI moving from search to taste. And taste is personal. Taste is human. Now, AI is cracking that code. Next, Mixboard. This is Google's answer to Notion, FigJam, and Slides all in one, and they just upgraded it hard. You can now create presentations with something called Nano Banana Pro. You can upload new file types. You can organize multiple boards into projects. This matters because it's not just brainstorming anymore. It's execution. You're not throwing ideas on a board. You're building presentations. You're organizing files. You're managing projects all in one place. And it's all powered by Gemini. If you're a creator, a student, or someone building anything, this tool just became way more useful. Now let's talk about Pomeli. This one's insane. Google just added an animate feature powered by VO 3.1. What it does is turn your static content into on-brand animations. No animation skills needed. No editing software. You give it your content and it creates smooth cinematic transitions that match your brand. Static content is officially dead because now anyone can animate anything and it looks professional. Then there's Jules Agent. This is where things get really interesting. Jules isn't just responding to your prompts. It's proactive. It surfaces tasks before you ask. It automates fixes before you notice the problem. It's acting like a teammate, not just an assistant. This is real agent behavior. Less prompting, more doing. That's the future of AI. Not tools that wait for you to tell them what to do. Tools that see what needs to happen and just do it. Google also updated Stitch. If you're a designer or developer, this one's for you. They added Gemini 3 Pro. They added working prototypes. You can now generate working HTML from Nano Banana Pro. There's a new command palette, like hitting Command K and getting instant access to everything. And here's the wild part. Predictive heat maps. That means before your users even click, you can see where they're going to click. You're getting insight before behavior happens. Designed to code to prediction all in one flow. That's crazy. And if you want to learn how to use tools like Gemini and Notebook LM to automate your workflows, scale your business, and save hundreds of hours, you need to join the AI Profit Boardroom. This is where we teach you how to integrate these exact Google AI tools into your business. You'll learn how to use Google's AI stack to get more customers, close more deals, and automate everything that's eating up your time. The link's in the description, and trust me, this is where the real magic happens. Now let me show you something most people missed. It's called Disco, and it's an experimental AI browsing tool powered by Gemini 3. Here's what it does. It takes your open tabs and remixes them into custom apps. Yes, you read that right. Your browser just became an app factory. You got 5 tabs open researching something. Disco can turn those into a mini app. Tabs become tools. Your browser becomes a builder. This is next level. It's still experimental, but it shows you where Google's headed. They're not just making browsing faster, they're making it smarter. Then there's CC. This is AI living inside your Gmail, and it just got 2 huge updates. First, there's a feature called Your Day Ahead. It's a briefing that shows up every morning. It tells you what's coming, what emails need attention, what's urgent, what can wait. Second, you can now email CC anytime. You can ask it questions. You can have it draft replies. You can let it organize your inbox while you focus on actual work. This is AI meeting you where you actually live. Because let's be honest, most of us live in our inbox. And now it's finally getting smart. But here's the big one. Notebook LM. This tool just went absolutely crazy on mobile. I'm talking game-changing updates. First, you can now create infographics and slide decks. So you're not just taking notes. You're turning those notes into presentations. You're turning research into visuals. Second, audio overviews now sync across all your devices. You can start listening on your phone, switch to your laptop, and pick up right where you left off. Third, you can now use your camera to capture images as sources. You see something in real life, you snap it, and Notebook LM pulls it into your knowledge base. That's wild. Fourth, bigger prompt limits. You can ask it more. You can go deeper. You can process more information at once. Fifth, docs support. Now you can upload Word docs, and it just works. And sixth, Notebook LM just joined the Google AI Ultra plan. If you're paying for Ultra, you're getting Notebook LM as part of the package. This is Google saying Notebook LM isn't a side project anymore. It's core. If you're a student, this is your new study partner. If you're a researcher, this is your second brain. If you're a creator, this is your content engine. This is massive. Now let's talk about Opal and Flow. These are creator tools, and Google just quietly made them way better. Opal is now in the Gemini Gems tab, and it introduced Nano Banana Pro. You're getting better outputs, faster results, higher quality. Flow got object removal. You can clean up your videos and images, just point at something you don't want, and it's gone. Plus, Nano Banana Pro image downloads in 2K and 4K. You're getting high-res visuals that actually look professional. Google just gave creators better tools quietly. While everyone was looking at other AI companies, Google was shipping updates that actually help you make better content. Let me zoom out for a second. This wasn't one update. This was Google upgrading the entire AI stack. Fashion discovery, project management, video animation, proactive agents, design to code with predictions, browser-based app creation, AI in your inbox, mobile knowledge management, creator tools. They didn't just improve one product, they improved the whole ecosystem, and they did it fast. While everyone else is talking, Google is shipping. Here's what this means for you. If you're building anything, if you're creating anything, if you're trying to work smarter, Google just gave you a full toolkit. And most people don't even know it exists yet. You can use Doppel to understand trends. You can use Mixboard to organize projects. You can use Pomeli to animate content. You can use Jules to automate tasks. You can use Stitch to go from design to code. You can use Disco to turn research into tools. You can use CC to manage your inbox. You can use Notebook LM to build your knowledge base. You can use Opal and Flow to create high-quality content. So which update shocked you the most? Drop a comment and let me know. And if you want to learn exactly how to use Google's AI tools like Gemini and Notebook LM to scale your business, automate your workflows, and save hundreds of hours every month, you need to join the AI Profit Boardroom. This is the best place to learn how to use these exact updates in your business. You'll get step-by-step training on automating with Gemini, building systems with Notebook LM, and scaling faster with AI. The link's in the description. Don't sleep on this. And if you want the full process, SOPs, and 100+ AI use cases like this one, join the AI Success Lab. Links in the comments and description. You'll get all the video notes from there, plus access to our community of 38,000 members who are crushing it with AI. That's it for today. Hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. You are wasting hours on AI tasks that could take minutes. You are using outdated AI models while Google just dropped something that changes everything. You are missing out on tools that can actually understand what you need without you spelling it out 10 times. And most people have no idea this even exists yet. Google just released Gemini 3, and it is completely different from anything you have used before. Hey everyone, I am Ava, and today we are breaking down the Gemini 3 update that Google released on November 18th. This is not just another model update. This is a complete shift in how AI works. And by the end of this video, you will know exactly what Gemini 3 can do and how to use it to save time in your day-to-day work. Let me start with something wild. Gemini 3 scored 1,501 on LM Arena. That is the first AI model to ever cross 1,500. For context, GPT 5.1 scored around 1,440, Claude Sonnet 4.5 scored around 1,460. This is not a small jump. This is Google saying we are back in the game. But scores do not tell you everything. What matters is what this thing can actually do. So let me show you 15 real examples straight from Google's own documentation and testing. First, multimodal understanding. Gemini 3 can handle text, images, video, audio, and code all at once. You can upload a 1-hour video of yourself playing basketball, and it will analyze your form, identify mistakes, and give you specific drills to improve. It does not just watch the video, it understands what it is seeing. It knows you are the player. It filters out background noise. It gives you coaching level feedback. Second, the context window is 1 million tokens. That means you can feed it an entire textbook, an entire code base, or hours of video content in one go. You do not need to break it into chunks. You do not need to summarize it first. Just upload it and ask questions. Third, it can code full applications from scratch with what Google calls vibe coding. You describe what you want in plain language, and it builds the entire thing. One developer asked it to create a retro dance night landing page. Gemini 3 built the whole site, interactive animations, responsive design, everything in one shot. No back and forth, no debugging 50 errors, just working code. Now here is where it gets interesting. Gemini 3 can create what Google calls generative interfaces. You ask it a question, and instead of just giving you text, it can build an interactive tool to help you understand the answer. Ask it about RNA, and it will code a simulation so you can see how RNA works instead of just reading about it. Ask it about nuclear fusion, and it will build you a visual explanation with interactive elements. Fourth, AI mode in search now uses Gemini 3. When you search for something complex, Google can detect when an interactive tool would help, code it on the spot, and add it to your search results. Want to compare two loan options? It will build you a custom loan calculator. Want to plan a trip? It will give you an interactive itinerary you can customize. Fifth, there is something called visual layout and dynamic view in the Gemini app. These are experimental features that move beyond text responses. You ask Gemini to plan a 3-day trip to Rome, and you get a magazine-style layout with photos, maps, and modules you can tap to explore and customize. It is not just a list, it is a full visual experience. And dynamic view is even crazier. You ask Gemini to explain the Van Gogh gallery with life context for each piece, and it designs and codes a unique interface just for that prompt. You can tap, scroll, and interact with the response in ways that make learning feel natural. Sixth, presentation coaching. Record yourself giving a presentation, upload it with your slides, and Gemini 3 analyzes everything. Your pacing, your tone, your body language, how well your slides match what you are saying, where you lost the audience's attention. It gives you specific feedback on what to improve. Seventh, scientific topics with coded visualizations. You can ask Gemini 3 to break down a dense research paper, and it will create interactive guides with code visualizations to help you understand complex concepts. Upload a paper on quantum mechanics, and it will build you visual tools to explore the concepts instead of just summarizing the text. Eighth, custom infographics. Nano Banana Pro, which is Gemini 3 Pro Image, can create detailed infographics about anything. Weather in a specific city, how to make a specific recipe, care instructions for a houseplant. It uses Gemini 3's reasoning and real-world knowledge to visualize information in ways that help you learn. Ninth, hobby improvement. Upload a video of yourself doing any activity, whether it is playing guitar, painting, or cooking, and Gemini 3 will analyze your technique and give you specific advice on how to improve. It understands spatial relationships, movements, and timing in a way that previous models could not. When I first started using these tools, I was overwhelmed. There were so many options, so many features. I did not know where to start. That is when I found this community called AI Profit Boardroom. 1,800 members all focused on learning AI together and sharing what actually works. It taught me which workflows save time versus which ones waste it. The community shares real use cases and practical implementations. If you are serious about using AI to improve your work and skills, check it out. Link in description. 10th, making static images interactive. You can take a static image like a board game layout or a napkin sketch, and Gemini 3 can turn it into a functional, interactive experience. Upload a diagram, and it can create an interactive lesson where you can explore the concepts by clicking and interacting instead of just looking at a static image. 11th, illustrating scale differences. Want to understand the difference between a subatomic particle and the galaxy? Gemini 3 can code interactive visualizations that let you see those differences in scale in a way that makes sense. It can synthesize information and follow complex creative instructions to build tools that help you learn. 12th, Google Anti-Gravity. This is a new agentic development platform that uses Gemini 3 to act as your coding partner. It operates across the editor, terminal, and browser. You can build faster and manage intelligent agents that generate code complex enough to work in real-world applications. Developers are using it to solve classic problems like the cart pole problem with working code. 13th, custom trip itineraries. Ask Gemini to plan a trip, and you get an explorable itinerary with photos, maps, and modules you can interact with to customize your plans. It is not just a text list. It is a full visual planning experience. 14th, Gemini Agent. This is experimental and handles multi-step tasks directly in the Gemini app. It can help you triage your emails, organize your calendar, do deep research, and browse the web, all while keeping you in control. You can confirm critical actions before they happen, and you can take over anytime. 15th, complex queries in AI mode. You can ask extremely specific questions and get richer, more visual responses. Want to know the best surf conditions based on specific criteria? Gemini 3 uses its multimodal understanding and agentic coding to build visual elements like images, tables, and grids to help you choose. Now let me talk about the benchmarks, because this is where Gemini 3 really shines. On GPQA Diamond, which tests graduate-level science knowledge, Gemini 3 scored 91.9%. GPT 5.1 scored around 88%. On ARC-AGI-2, which tests abstract reasoning, Gemini 3 scored 31.1% in standard mode and 45.1% with deep think mode. 5 scored 17.6%. That is nearly double the performance. On Humanity's Last Exam, one of the hardest reasoning benchmarks, Gemini 3 scored 37.5% in standard mode and 41% with deep think mode. GPT 5.1 scored around 26.5%. On Amy 2025 without tools, Gemini 3 scored 67.6%. GPT 5 scored around 43%. These gaps are not small. They show real improvements in reasoning and problem solving. Gemini 3 also leads on Live Code Bench Pro for algorithmic coding with an ELO score of 2,439. It is about 200 points ahead of GPT 5.1. And on SWE Bench Verified, which tests real-world software engineering tasks, Gemini 3 scored 76.2%. Claude Sonnet 4.5 scored 77.2%. So Claude still has a slight edge on debugging existing code, but Gemini 3 dominates novel algorithm creation. What does this mean for you? It means Gemini 3 is better at understanding complex problems, reasoning through multiple steps, and generating code that actually works. It is better at handling long documents, processing video and audio, and creating interactive experiences. And here is the thing, it is available now, for free. You can use Gemini 3 Pro in the Gemini app today. There are limits on how many queries you can run if you are on the free plan, but you can test all these features without paying anything. Google AI Plus, Pro, and Ultra plans give you higher limits and access to Gemini 3 Deep Think mode, which pushes reasoning even further. So how do you actually use this? Go to the Gemini app. Upload a video, a document, code, or images. Ask it to analyze, explain, or create something. Be specific about what you want. The more detail you give, the better the output. For coding, use Google AI Studio or the Gemini API. You can prototype ideas, generate full applications, and test your code in the same interface. For search, use AI mode and let Gemini 3 build interactive tools for you. For planning, use the visual layout and dynamic view features in the Gemini app. If you are looking to dive deeper into AI tools and actually implement them in your work, I recommend AI Profit Boardroom. Over 1,800 people learning how to use AI effectively. Everyone shares real experiences. What is working? What is not? Which tools are worth your time? Which ones to skip? No hype, just solid information and practical guidance from people doing the work. It has helped me stay on top of updates and figure out how to actually apply them. Link in description if you want to check it out. If you want the full process, SOPs, and 100+A, I use cases like this one. Join the AI Success Lab. Links in the comments and description. You will get all the video notes from there, plus access to our community of 38,000 members who are crushing it with AI. The AI landscape just shifted. Google went from being behind to being competitive again. Gemini 3 is not perfect, but it is powerful, it is fast, and it is available now. Use it to learn faster, build better tools, and improve your workflows. That is what matters. Thanks for watching. If this helped you understand Gemini 3, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want more AI breakdowns like this, and I will see you in the next one. Gemini 3 Flash just changed everything about AI speed. You're probably wasting hours waiting for AI to think, missing out on the fastest model Google has ever released, while everyone else is still using slow models from 6 months ago. Google just dropped something that processes 3 times faster than anything before it, and it's already live in your Gemini app right now. Hey, I'm Ava, and if you've been feeling like AI is too slow for your actual workflow, you need to hear this. Google released Gemini 3 Flash 2 days ago on December 17th, and it's not just another incremental update. This model is replacing Gemini 2.5 Flash as the default in the Gemini app globally, which means millions of people are getting access to pro-level intelligence at flash speeds whether they realize it or not. Let me break down what just happened here because this is a big shift in how AI models work. Most Flash models are designed to be quick but basic. They're good for simple tasks, quick answers, nothing too complex. But Gemini 3 Flash is different. It scores 90.4% on GPQA Diamond, which tests PhD-level scientific knowledge. It hit 81.2% on MMMU Pro, a benchmark that tests multimodal understanding. That's the same level as Gemini 3 Pro, the premium model that costs way more to run. Here's where it gets interesting. On Humanity's Last Exam, a benchmark testing expertise across different domains, Gemini 3 Flash scored 33.7% without using any tools. That's triple what the previous Flash model could do. The old 2.5 Flash only hit 11%. Gemini 3 Pro scored 37.5%, and the newly released GPT 5.2 scored 34.5%. So this Flash model is basically performing at the same level as the top models everyone's been talking about. But the speed is what matters for actual work. According to benchmarking from Artificial Analysis, Gemini 3 Flash is 3 times faster than Gemini 2.5 Pro. And it's doing this while significantly outperforming that same 2.5 Pro model across multiple benchmarks. You're getting better quality and faster responses. That combination is rare. Let me give you real examples of what this means for your workflow. Say you upload a video to analyze. Maybe it's a golf swing, a presentation you recorded, or a tutorial you're trying to learn from. Gemini 3 Flash can watch that video, understand what's happening, identify what you need to improve, and give you a step-by-step action plan in seconds, not minutes. Seconds. It processes video, audio, images, PDFs, and text all at once, and it does it fast enough that it feels conversational. The coding performance is actually wild. On SWE Bench Verified, which tests how well models can act as coding agents and solve real software engineering problems, Gemini 3 Flash scored 78%. That's higher than Gemini 3 Pro. Higher than the entire 2.5 series. This Flash model is outperforming premium models on coding tasks while running faster and costing less. Companies like JetBrains, Cursor, and Replit are already building this into their developer tools. Now here's something most people don't know about this release. Gemini 3. Flash can modulate how much it thinks. When you give it a complex task, it'll think longer. When you give it something simple, it uses fewer tokens and responds faster. Google measured this on typical traffic and found that Gemini 3 Flash uses 30% fewer tokens on average than 2.5 Pro while delivering higher performance. So you're not just getting speed, you're getting efficiency. Your API costs go down, your rate limits go up, and the quality stays high. When I first started working with models like this, I was completely overwhelmed by which one to use for what task. Do I use the expensive model for everything? Do I sacrifice quality for speed? That's when I found this community called AI Profit Boardroom. 1,800 members all focused on learning AI together and sharing what actually works. It taught me which workflows save time versus which ones waste it. The community shares real use cases and practical implementations. If you're serious about using AI to improve your work and skills, check it out. Link in description. Let's talk about what you can actually build with this. Gemini 3 Flash accepts up to 1,048,576 input tokens. That's basically 1 million tokens of context. You can feed it entire documents, multiple videos, long audio files, and it'll process all of it. The output can be up to 65,536 tokens, so you're not getting cut off mid-response. Google is also rolling this out in AI mode in search. If you've used AI mode before, you know it gives you these comprehensive breakdowns with real-time information pulled from across the web. Now it's powered by Gemini 3 Flash, which means those responses are faster and more nuanced. It can parse the details of your question better, consider multiple aspects of what you're asking, and serve up organized information with specific recommendations, all at search speed. The multimodal capabilities are what make this actually useful for day-to-day work. You can upload an audio recording of a lecture or meeting, and Gemini 3 Flash will identify knowledge gaps, create a custom quiz for you, and give detailed explanations on the answers. You can sketch something rough, and it'll guess what you're drawing before you even finish. You can show it a still image with UI overlays, and it'll analyze it, caption it, and turn it into an interactive experience in real time. For people who don't code, this is huge. You can literally just talk to Gemini 3 Flash about an app idea you have. Describe it out loud, stream of consciousness, no structure needed. It'll take those unstructured thoughts and build a working prototype in minutes. You're not writing a single line of code, you're just explaining what you want, and it handles the rest. Here's what the pricing looks like if you're using the API. 50 cents per million input tokens, $3 per million output tokens. That's slightly higher than Gemini 2.5 Flash, which was 30 cents input and $2.50 output. But you're getting way more capability for that price. And if you're using context caching, which lets you reuse tokens that are repeated across requests, you can get 90% cost reductions. The batch API is also available, which gives you 50% cost savings and higher rate limits for tasks that don't need immediate responses. Companies are already using this in production. Harvey, an AI platform for law firms, reported a 7% jump in reasoning performance on their internal benchmark for legal work. Box said Gemini 3 Flash shows a 15% relative improvement in accuracy compared to 2.5 Flash, especially on hard tasks like handwriting recognition, long contracts, and complex financial data extraction. Resemble AI is using it for deepfake detection and said it processes complex forensic data 4 times faster than Gemini 2.5 Pro. These aren't experiments. These are real deployments handling critical work. Bridgewater Associates, one of the largest hedge funds in the world, said Gemini 3 Flash is the first model to deliver pro-class depth at the speed and scale their workflows demand. They specifically called out its long context performance on complex problems. When a company like Bridgewater says a model meets their standards, that tells you something about reliability. Let me show you how this compares to other models right now. On Simple QA Verified, which tests factual accuracy, Gemini 3 Flash scored 68.7%. The previous Flash model scored 28.1%. That's more than double. It's close to matching Gemini 3 Pro on accuracy while being way faster and cheaper to run. OpenAI just released GPT 5.2, and on many benchmarks, Gemini 3 Flash is either matching it or beating it. The only model that consistently outperforms it is Gemini 3 Pro, which costs more than 4 times as much per token. For developers building AI agents, this is the sweet spot. You need reasoning, you need speed, you need it to handle tools and function calling. Gemini 3 Flash does all of that without the latency you'd expect from a model this capable. If you're building customer support agents, in-game assistants, data extraction pipelines, or any agentic workflow that needs to run thousands of times per day, this model makes it financially viable. You're not burning through your budget on API calls anymore. One thing that surprised me is how good it is at visual reasoning. You can give it a single prompt, and it'll generate multiple design variations. It can analyze videos in real time and provide guidance as things are happening. Like if you're playing a puzzle game, it can watch your hand movements, understand the game mechanics, and give you strategic advice all within a second or two. That level of responsiveness was not possible with previous models. If you're looking to dive deeper into AI tools and actually implement them in your work, I recommend AI Profit Boardroom. Over 1,800 people learning how to use AI effectively. Everyone shares real experiences. What's working, what's not. Which tools are worth your time? Which ones to skip? No hype. Just solid information and practical guidance from people doing the work. It's helped me stay on top of updates and figure out how to actually apply them. Link in description if you want to check it out. If you want the full process, SOPs, and 100+ AI use cases like this one, join the AI Success Lab. Links in the comments and description. You'll get all the video notes from there, plus access to our community of 38,000 members who are crushing it with AI. The big picture here is that the gap between expensive premium models and affordable fast models is closing. Gemini 3 Flash is proof that you don't have to choose between speed and intelligence anymore. You can have both. And that changes what's possible for individual developers, small teams, and anyone building AI into their workflow without a massive budget. If you're serious about learning AI and actually implementing these tools in your daily work, the key is finding a community that's testing things in real time and sharing what works. That's what AI Profit Boardroom has been for me. Real people, real use cases, no marketing fluff, just practical guidance on which workflows actually save time and which ones are a waste. It's made the difference between feeling overwhelmed by new releases and knowing exactly how to use them effectively. Bottom line, Gemini 3 Flash is live now. It's free in the Gemini app. It's affordable in the API. It's faster and smarter than what came before. If you're building anything with AI, testing anything with AI, or learning how to use AI tools more effectively, this should be on your radar. The speed alone changes what's possible, and the fact that it's not sacrificing quality to get that speed is what makes it worth paying attention to. You're probably using the wrong AI model. You're wasting time with tools that can't keep up. Google just dropped Gemini 3 Pro, and the benchmarks are insane. This isn't hype, this is data. If you're still on older models, you need to see this. Hey, I'm Ava. Today we're breaking down Google's Gemini 3 Pro because this thing is dominating almost every benchmark test. Let's start with the most shocking stat. Gemini 3 Pro scored 91.9% on GPQA Diamond, a scientific knowledge test. Claude Sonnet 4.5 got 83.4. GPT-5.1 got 88.1. And this isn't one narrow win. This model is leading across almost everything. Humanity's last exam tests reasoning and knowledge. Gemini 3 Pro hit 37.5%. Claude got 13.7. GPT-5.1 got 26.5. The gap is massive. Now let me show you something wild about long horizon tasks. Gemini 3 Pro just set a new record on Vending Bench 2. This benchmark tests how well AI handles complex multi-step tasks over time. Think planning projects that take days or managing workflows with dozens of moving parts. Gemini 3 Pro earned $5,478 on average. Claude Sonnet 4.5 earned $3,838. GPT-5.1 earned $1,473. Gemini 2.5 Pro earned $573. Look at that first chart. Gemini 3 Pro's line keeps climbing. It's not even close. What does this mean for your actual work? Scientific knowledge means better research assistance. When you're writing reports or analyzing data, this model understands context at a new level. Complex reasoning means better problem solving. When you're stuck, Gemini 3 Pro works through multiple angles and finds solutions other models miss. Visual understanding is huge. On ScreenSpot Pro, which tests screen understanding, Gemini 3 Pro scored 72.7%. Claude got 36.2. GPT-5.1 got 3.5. If you work with visual content or interfaces, this model actually sees what it's looking at. Math capabilities matter more than you think. Even if you're not doing advanced math, the logical reasoning that powers math performance also powers analytical thinking. And those long horizon capabilities, game-changing for project management, planning, and strategy. Any work requiring thinking multiple steps ahead. When I first started diving into these new models, I was overwhelmed trying to figure out which one delivered results. That's when I found this community called AI Profit Boardroom. 1,800 members all focused on learning AI together and sharing what actually works. It taught me which workflows save time versus which ones waste it. The community shares real use cases and practical implementations. If you're serious about using AI to improve your work and skills, check it out. Link in description. Now let's talk deep think mode. Google describes it as giving the model more time to carefully reason through queries. The performance boost is massive on certain tasks. Look at Amy 2025, a mathematics benchmark. Without tools, Gemini 3 Pro scored 95%. With code execution, it hit 100%. Claude also hit 100 with code execution. When you give these models the right tools and thinking time, they achieve near-perfect performance on standardized tests. On ARC-AGI-2, which tests visual reasoning puzzles, Gemini 3 Deep Think scored 45.1% with tools turned on. Compare that to 31.1 for standard Gemini 3 Pro, 4.9 for Gemini 2.5 Pro, 13.6 for Claude, and 17.6 for GPT-5.1. When you give this model tools and time to think, it solves puzzles that stump other AIs. Math Arena Apex tests challenging math contest problems. Gemini 3 Pro scored 23.4%. Gemini 2.5 Pro scored 0.5%. Claude scored 1.6%. GPT-5.1 scored 1%. This model is over 20 times better than its predecessor. Here's what the data shows across all benchmarks. Gemini 3 Pro leads in academic reasoning, visual reasoning, scientific knowledge, multimodal understanding, screen understanding, multilingual capabilities, and long content performance. It's competitive on coding, but not always the leader. Claude Sonnet, 4.5 leads on SWE Bench Verified at 77.2% compared to Gemini 3 Pro's 76.2%. But look at Live Code Bench Pro. Gemini 3 Pro scored 2439, Claude scored 1418, GPT-5.1 scored 2243. Terminal Bench 2.0 shows Gemini 3 Pro at 54.2% for agentic terminal coding, Claude at 42.8, GPT-5.1 at 47.6. T2 Bench for agentic tool use shows Gemini 3 Pro at 85.4%, Claude at 84.7%. GPT-5.1 at 80.2. When it comes to using tools and acting as an agent, Gemini 3 Pro is leading. Google highlighted planning as a major use case. Whether you're planning travel, events, or projects, Gemini 3 Pro handles the complexity. It understands dependencies and constraints and can optimize across multiple variables. They showed an example of planning a weekend trip. You give it your preferences and goals. It builds an itinerary that actually makes sense. Not generic suggestions, real plans accounting for timing, locations, and your specific needs. Research is another massive use case. The scientific knowledge capabilities mean you can dive deep into complex topics, ask nuanced questions, get answers demonstrating real understanding, not surface-level summaries. Actual insight. Data analysis gets a huge boost. When you're working with complex data sets, Gemini 3 Pro identifies patterns, draws connections, and helps you understand what the data is telling you. About Vending Bench 2. That $5,400 average isn't about making money. It's measuring how well the model performs complex, sustained tasks. The benchmark simulates business decisions over time. Higher scores mean better decision-making and planning. It's measuring capability. The multimodal capabilities are solid. It scored 81% on MMMU Pro, which tests multimodal understanding and reasoning. That's compared to 68 for Claude and 76 for GPT-5.1. Video MMMU test, knowledge acquisition from videos. Gemini 3 Pro scored 87.6%. Claude got 77.8%. GPT-5.1 got 80.4%. If you work with video content, this matters. Multilingual performance is impressive. MMMLU tests multilingual Q&A. Gemini 3 Pro scored 91.8%. Claude got 89.1%. GPT-5.1 got 91%. Global PIQA tests common sense reasoning across 100 languages and cultures. Gemini 3 Pro hit 93.4%. Claude 90.1%. GPT-5.1 90.9%. Should you switch from whatever you're using now? Here's my honest take. If you're doing complex analytical work, scientific research, or tasks requiring deep reasoning, Gemini 3 Pro is worth testing. The benchmarks show clear advantages. If you're primarily coding, Claude Sonnet 4.5 still has strengths on certain tasks. Both models are excellent, but Claude has an edge in specific areas. If you need the best long-term planning and complex project management, Gemini 3 Pro's Vending Bench 2 score suggests it's the strongest option available. My recommendation is test both. Don't just switch based on benchmarks, try them on your actual work. See which gives you better results for your specific use cases. Deep Think mode isn't for everything. For most tasks, standard Gemini 3 Pro is fast and capable. Deep Think is for when you hit a wall, when you need maximum reasoning power, when speed matters less than getting the absolute best answer. Use it strategically. Facts, benchmark, suite tests, retrieval, and search. Gemini 3 Pro scored 70.5%. Gemini 2.5 Pro scored 63.4%. Claude got 50.4%. GPT 5.1 got 50.8%. If your work involves finding and synthesizing information, Gemini 3 Pro's retrieval capabilities are notably stronger. Simple QA verified tests parametric knowledge. Gemini 3 Pro scored 72.1%. Claude got 29.3%. GPT 5.1 got 34.9%. This shows Gemini 3 Pro has strong base knowledge, not just reasoning ability. ChartShiv reasoning tests information synthesis from complex charts. Gemini 3 Pro hit 81.4%. Claude 68.5%. GPT 5.1 69.5%. If you work with data visualization, this capability matters. Here's a framework for thinking about these models. Gemini 3 Pro excels at breadth and depth. It performs well across more benchmarks than competitors. It also goes deeper on complex reasoning tasks. Claude Sonnet 4.5 excels at coding and certain specialized tasks. GPT 5.1 is strong overall, but doesn't lead in most categories anymore. Your choice depends on your work. If you do one thing primarily, pick the model that leads in that category. If you need versatility, Gemini 3 Pro's broad strength makes it appealing. One limitation to note: the MRCR benchmark tests long content performance. On the 128K average setting, Gemini 3 Pro scored 77%. Claude scored 47.1%. But on the 1 million token pointwise test, Gemini 3 Pro scored 26.3%, and Claude wasn't supported. For extremely long documents, performance drops. What I'm most excited about is the combination of reasoning depth and breadth. Previous models either reasoned well or knew a lot. Gemini 3 Pro does both. That combination is powerful for complex work requiring both knowledge and thinking. If you're looking to dive deeper into AI tools and actually implement them in your work, I recommend AI Profit Boardroom. Over 1,800 people learning how to use AI effectively. Everyone shares real experiences. What's working, what's not, which tools are worth your time, which ones to skip. No hype, just solid information and practical guidance from people doing the work. It's helped me stay on top of updates and figure out how to actually apply them. Link in description if you want to check it out. If this breakdown helped you understand Gemini 3 Pro and whether it's worth your attention, hit that like button. Subscribe for more honest AI tool breakdowns without the hype. Drop a comment telling me which model you're using and whether you're planning to test Gemini 3 Pro. Thanks for watching. I'm Ava. Keep learning, keep building. See you in the next one.